Yeah. Let's get it! Born from the spark under red, white, and blue lights. Forge my own path, climbing these brand new heights. This ain't a debate, we setting the new standard. The voice of the free, a vision that's expanded. Drew Grimaldi Podcast. Drew Grimaldi Podcast.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Drew Grimaldi Podcast. Happy America 250, everybody. 250 years old. You know, the average lifespan of any empire is 247 years old. So America, the great American empire, is now past the threshold. But we still have a lot of fucking crazies coming after us. For example, the socialist movements that have been taking over our big Democrat cities is quite scary. You have people who have spent their entire lives trying to flee from communism and socialism. People that bought the Kool-Aid, drank it, and said, okay, you know what, maybe this is the way. Only to find out that they killed millions of people, like, for example, in the Mao Dynasty in China, when they went full communist. But I digress. There's a proven track record of socialism and communism. And, you know, the Democrats will try to explain to you how they're two different things. Okay, whatever. Socialism is communism's little brother. They're still same church, different pew. You can't let these people take over our country. But we had, for example, Mayor Mamdani, who was out there, had some things to say on This Week. He put out this thing about America 250, right? And he got in there and he was talking about how America isn't that great and how we still have a lot of problems and stuff like that. Check this one out. You got to see this.
Desk, alongside new Americans who came to this country, I cannot see all of America. But like so many who came before, I can see New York City. The city I see today looks very different than the one that greeted George Washington. In July of 1776, our city simmered under the yoke of oppression. The British had imposed a colonial rule so repressive that 250 years ago, 80 miles south, a small group of newspaper editors, farmers, and soldiers signed their names on a document declaring truths that feel self-evident now, but were revolutionary then, establishing the ideals our nation still strives to fulfill. The British did not take it well. War broke out. And that August, as the largest battle of the Revolutionary War unfolded in Brooklyn, batteries on Governor's
This guy's only been a U.S. citizen for like 3 years, by the way.
We were outgunned, we were outmanned, and we were soundly defeated. After only a few months, it appeared our fledgling attempt at democracy was on the precipice of collapse. But that night, with the moon overhead, thousands of our soldiers silently climbed into ferries and flat-bottom boats and escaped to Manhattan. The Continental Army survived to fight another day. Independence may have been declared in Philadelphia, but it was rescued in New York City. George Washington was the last to leave Brooklyn. As he waited at the river's edge, the sun beginning its rise, he would have looked out over New York City's waters and seen what so many have seen in the 250 years since: an opportunity to begin anew.
Here we go.
Those opportunities,
this is where he gets into
like
it.
Everything in New York City, are not given. They are won. In 1838, 11 years after New York outlawed slavery, a recently emancipated black man by the name of James Weeks sought to begin anew as well, and to help hundreds of others do the same. He bought property in Brooklyn, won himself the right to vote, and sold lots to others newly freed. When they landed in New York Harbor, they knew they had something waiting for them.
So, the point of this whole thing is that, and later on in the speech, and I cut it off because, I mean, the thing was like 13 minutes long, but towards the end of the speech, he talks about how America today is oppressive, and how we got to keep fighting for our freedoms. Now, I don't understand that. How you have the balls to come into this country, come here 3-4 years ago, become a U.S. citizen, and then actually have the wherewithal to actually become the mayor of New York City, and to sit there and criticize America, talking about how we aren't as great as all of that. I don't know. it just kind of gets sickening. But I will say this, is that the Democrat Party does not love America. And you're seeing more of this. They like to say they're a big tent. And that tent, okay, sure, it's large. But you got the freaks in there and all that, and they are letting the freak show of the Democrat Party run the entire asylum. And you can't let this happen. I mean, it's insane. So we had Rep. Jayapal here, okay? Here it is. Rep. Jayapal. She says that Trump only wants white immigrants to come to the United States. That's not true at all. But the fact of the matter is that these people will say it, and they're never held accountable for saying such stupid shit. But this is what these people do. So let's check this out. But this one, America is the greatest country ever, okay? There's a reason why we are the superpower that we are. And it has to do a lot with the location of where we are, because no one can fucking attack us easily. But it also has to do with that we are free. And because we are free, and because of capitalism, people have been able to come here for a century, to 2 centuries, to come here and to make a better life for themselves, pull themselves up by their bootstraps. What other place allows you to do that? None. You go into some other country the way that they're doing now. Let's say you go into, a white person goes into some place in the Middle East. You think they're going to be warmly welcomed? No. But this is what she thinks, that America is racist. I don't agree with that. But check this out. She's a ridiculous one.
People like me here, I think that's very clear with the immigration policy, with the mass deportation policy, with the way in which they're only allowing, white Afrikaners into the country now as refugees. So it's all part of the same story. And I think birthright citizenship is going to be one of the principles that they continue to push as a right-wing party. They don't want people like me here.
Okay, the whole thing with birthright citizenship is that one of the problems that we're having right now is that you have people from other countries that are legitimately coming here while they're pregnant, knowing that they're just about to give birth. But they come here and they're called, birth tourism. And they come here only to have their child here. Let's say they're from China, okay? You have somebody from China coming into the United States who is pregnant, and they are heavily linked to the CCP. Well, they come to the United States, let's say Virgin Islands or, one place like that, someplace in Miami, have the baby while they're here. That child now gets birthright citizenship. They are a citizen of the United States. So now you have that. So this person then goes back to China, gets indoctrinated by the CCP, becomes a Chinese agent, and then they send them back to the States because they're a U.S. citizen. And this is the type of shit why we have had major technology stolen in the past. The F-22 Raptor, I believe it was literally stolen from somebody who did the exact same thing. Somebody who had a dual citizenship, came here, got a job, and they worked in the Pentagon, stole these things. Now, we have been at war for the last 40 years at somebody or another. So we have perfected this. Every single time these stealth bombers, these stealth planes, every time they land after a mission, they need to be refinished. They basically refinish these things every single time, because if they didn't, they'd have a speck, or they'd still end up showing up on radar. Well, the Chinese couldn't perfect the technology for the coding that we had. And so when they came on and they started flying towards the U.S., they lit up like a Christmas tree, even though they thought they didn't. They did. But that's the type of thing, is that they're stealing these things from us. And it's just crazy to me that you have the SCOTUS, that you had the liberal judges, but the fact of the matter is that Amy Coney Barrett is a wild card. She was one of the president's choices for the Supreme Court, but you can't sit there and say anymore that the Supreme Court is a pawn of Donald Trump. It's just not true. But here was SCOTUS's decision here, which is going to open the doors for all sorts of flooding in of all of this. But listen,
so this is Ohio Senator.
So this is Bernie Moreno has come up with an idea to try to put it on the floor to actually get this passed now because of the birth tourism. And basically the whole thing that I just said.
Bernie Moreno
Check
is
this
bringing
out.
it back. So let's take a look over at the wall. Part of Moreno's Immigration Stabilization Act of 2026 clarifies that birthright citizenship does not apply to children born in the U.S. to mothers who are neither U.S. citizens nor lawful permanent residents and who remain subject to the jurisdiction of a foreign country. Now, supporters of this approach point to history. Back in 1884, the Supreme Court ruled that John Elk, born into a recognized Native American tribe, was not automatically a U.S. citizen by birthright. Now, years later, Congress passed the Indian Citizenship Act, and that's proof that citizenship was not envisioned as something as a birthright of being born on the soil of America and could be answered by an act of Congress. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is concerned that legislation will not be good enough, and it might, in fact, take a constitutional amendment.
It's going to take an amendment,
introduced
I think.
a constitutional amendment
It's gonna
months
take an
ago to
amendment.
fix birthright citizenship for good. After the Supreme Court's decision, this amendment matters more than ever. I urge my colleagues to take it seriously and join me in getting it passed. But changing the Constitution is a difficult two-step process. To get a new amendment into the Constitution, here's what would happen. After a congressional proposal is received, it would need 2/3 vote in both the House and the Senate. And then if that succeeds, it heads to the states for ratification. And then you either have to have 3/4 of state legislatures approve it or a convention of the states where 3/4 of the states approve it. Now, the last time we had a constitutional amendment was in 1992 involving congressional pay. Joining me now.
So that's the play right there, is to put the whole birthright citizen thing through the right courts so that we can protect ourselves from what I just said. Because think about it. If you have thousands of Chinese people here in the States who have dual citizenship and they're told to vote one way by the CCP, they're going to do it. And you can influence elections that way. And that is the problem. That's the problem, is that eventually, but that was the whole Democrat goal, was that they wanted to eventually make it so that they would bring in all these people from all over the world, third world people. But realistically, you had places like Venezuela that were emptying their prisons and stuff here. Like, these aren't good people that are coming here. You know, there's a reason why they're running from their government. Now, there's always the off case where you have somebody who's truly being persecuted. But here's what the president had to say about the birthright citizenship.
It was the most important, and we want some others too. It was the most important decision of all of them, I think. But we'll take care of the birthright citizenship because that was not meant for rich people from other countries. That was meant for, actually, it was meant for the babies of slaves. If you look at it, it was a month after the Civil War ended that it went through. That's because it was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for rich people from China. They came over in Gulf Streams. It was meant for the babies of slaves. So I know they got it wrong, but that's okay because they gave us something that nobody thought. But they also gave us something in one of the sessions a year ago. Was called merit. Our country now is based again on merit. It was the most important.
And that's so true. We're back to a merit-based society versus this DEI crap. I always thought it was so disingenuous that everybody would always try to shit on Charlie Kirk when he talked about DEI and how he said, you know, if there's a black pilot, I don't want to sit there and be like, well, is he actually qualified to be there? The question he had to ask, the reason that he had to even ask that question was because of Democrat policies. That was the point. But
strange pattern.
Here is another piece for you on the birthright citizenship. But you have 100 women flying in from Turkey to have their babies here. And this is the type of shit that's happening and why America in their voting system, it needs to be secure. What's happening right now is a joke. Anybody, it's all willy-nilly. Everybody. But here, I digress. Check this one out here.
cracked down on an alleged anchor baby ring on Long Island. Prosecutors say more than 100 pregnant women from Turkey came here to give birth, so their children were instantly granted U.S. citizenship.
Investigators say the women then used benefits like Medicaid. CBS 2's Carolyn Gussoff reports from Suffolk County.
An alert Smithtown town employee noticed a strange pattern of birth certificates, 5 babies from one house at one time. An investigation led to an international fraud scheme, an alleged birth tourism ring operating on Long Island for 3 years.
The defendants fraudulently facilitated the births in the United States of approximately 119 Turkish children. And those children now hold birthright U.S. citizenship.
It's the 14th Amendment that grants citizenship to any child born in the U.S. Officials say in this case, ringleaders brazenly advertised in Turkey. Translation, if you believe your baby should be born in the USA and become an American citizen, you're in the right place. What's illegal, alleged lies to obtain travel visas, fraudulent Medicaid claims for babies and moms who stayed at 7 birth houses across Suffolk County. Women paid up to $10,000 each for accommodations and free health care paid by U.S. taxpayers.
They're doing it on the backs of the taxpayers. They're milking the Medicaid system.
6 people arrested, charged with money laundering and $2 million in Medicaid fraud. Birth tourism has gotten the president's attention, who recently closed some loopholes.
It is estimated that over 30,000 childbirths occurred in the United States last year alone in connection with this practice.
Prosecutors say the arrests are not about stopping immigration, but those who game the system.
The desire to have your child born in the United States is understandable, but the methods and means employed by these criminals were both unlawful, completely unacceptable.
Medical care in the homes is questionable. Prosecutors say the defendants are selfish individuals who see dollar signs instead of children. In Hauppauge, Long Island, Carolyn Gussoff, CBS 2 News.
Wild stuff that this is even happening in America, and there's nothing that we can seem to do about it. But here's our friend Jayapal,
When I was 6,
who has her weird shit to say about it. We'll bring her back up for this one here.
my parents sent me to the United States by myself when I was 16 years old. They had $5,000 in their bank account, and they used it all to send me here, even though I was never going to live on the same continent as them again, because they really believed that America was the best place in the world where I would get the best education and the most opportunity. My parents sent me to the...
So why do you shit on the United States so much? That's the better question. But this is what they do. I mean, this was Jonathan Turley's take on the whole thing. Because the framers of the Constitution, this is Jonathan Turley of Fox News. He's a constitutional scholar, teaches the Constitution and all that in law schools and whatnot. But check this one out here, because he always has a good take on it. Listen to this one.
I don't know anyone who believes that the framers would have embraced what we have today. We have become the world's ship of fools. I mean, you have China that is virtually mocking us. They have hundreds of these companies that solely arrange for Chinese citizens to give birth in the United States. It's done in the open, and it's making us into a laughingstock, but it also has robbed us of control over what it means to be a citizen in this country. The day is not over for the government. It's still possible that they could win, but this was not a promising oral argument in that sense. So we have to look at where we go from here. And many of us believe we need to deal with this problem, and that may require a constitutional amendment. I don't know anyone who...
It's a problem that we have here in the States for sure. But Turley always says that. And then we have our man, Ron DeSantis here.
You know, we've had people, you see it in some of these election results, you know, some of the people that have been brought in over the last 20, 30 years, they don't like the country. They want to import where they came from, which, some of these countries are really messed up, and ultimately expect us to change to go in that direction. And I just think that, first of all, that's not the way I would want to live. But second of all, how ridiculous. I mean, imagine if some of us showed up in France and we just showed, oh yeah, you got to start doing, they would laugh at you, right? I mean, that's just not the way it is. So this birthright is an issue in terms of people can come, you kind of have, if you have kids, then it's hard for them to remove you at that point, and that's definitely been gained. There's no question. But it's a larger issue about not just illegal immigration, but who is legally being let into the country, and are these folks people that are rejecting, kind of the American way of life? And I think, unfortunately, we've seen that in larger numbers over the years. In any event, we will look at that.
So, I mean, you said it. They're gaming the system to get U.S. citizenship, and it's bizarre that anybody would even want to do that. But, the Democrats, they're going to side against, the U.S. every single time. They want these Muslims to come here. They want the third world Muslims to come into our country, like they have been. This one right here is very disturbing, but it's something I need to play for my listeners. This one here is a Muslim preacher, and he's talking about why it's okay to marry 9-year-olds. This one here is probably one of the most important videos I'll play, because it points out, it's one of the reasons why they're not compatible with the United States. And they break it down here, or at least he tries to make an excuse for the pedophilia, saying that it was God's choice, and something bizarre. But listen to this one, pretty crazy here.
This is a question from an anonymous person, and she asked, why did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam marry Aisha? I'm sorry.
The question.
No. It's more. It's more. Why did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam married Aisha at the age of 9? And can one use this example to marry young girls?
Okay, the question of the sister is a very good question, mashallah. The question of the sister is, why did the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why did he marry Aisha at such a young age? And can we use that as an example for us to marry young girls the same age today? Is that right? So let's answer this question. It's a good question, and it's an easy question. Now the why of it, nobody knows except Allah. Because the Prophet ﷺ never married any woman except it came to him from wahi. What does it mean? What is wahi? The Prophet ﷺ never went around looking at women and select this one or select that one, or say, yo, check this out. Tell that girl I'd like to marry him or marry her. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ never spoke anything from himself, but whatsoever he heard from wahi, this is what he did. Now we know that the Prophet ﷺ is a man like everybody else, but Allah subdued his nafs. Allah subdued his nafs with wahi, revelation. So he was guided by Allah. He was accompanied by Jibreel alayhi salam.
Allah is the reason
never came up
that he got with a 9-year-old.
So whatever the Prophet ﷺ selected to do, he did it through the influence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and through the guidance he received from Jibreel alayhi salam. So why he got Aisha, we don't know that, because where did the order come from? Hello. Allahu Akbar. So the kafir, the non-Muslim, who's not able to understand and recognize the sky and the earth, they suspend it because what? They're ignorant. They don't know.
We're ignorant because we don't understand why it's okay to marry a 9-year-old.
They don't understand the premise of revelation, so they can't appreciate that. But those who can appreciate revelation understand that prophets, alayhimus salam, were ordered to do things that we don't understand, that we call mu'ajiza. We call it miracle, phenomena, because it came from God. So Allah selected Aisha for the Prophet ﷺ. That's number one. And when the Prophet ﷺ realized that Allah inclined him towards Aisha, who was Aisha radiallahu anha? She was the daughter of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And who was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he was a well-known man in Mecca, right? Well-known, honest. He
not
was
compatible with the United States. None of this.
A very influential man. He was the supporter of the Prophet ﷺ. He was the companion of the Prophet ﷺ. And Aisha was his daughter. So one day the Prophet ﷺ said to him, from the inclination he got from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, Abu Bakr, he says, do you love me? Abu Bakr said, Ya Rasulullah, I sacrificed my mother and my family for you. He said, then I would like to ask you for your daughter in marriage. This is very common among the...
Okay, so here's the thing. One, he's referencing it. Muhammad sleeping with a 9-year-old girl. He's saying that we're too ignorant and that we're too dumb and that we're kafirs, which I think means cow. Basically just meat, a meat suit, an empty meat suit is what he's trying to describe people that don't believe this shit. And then secondly, Muhammad wasn't a messiah. He wasn't a prophet. In fact, he died of food poisoning. The point of what I'm getting to is that you have Jesus Christ, who died on the cross, came back, and was healing people, and was doing all of these amazing things. And then you have Muhammad, who's sleeping with a 9-year-old, and saying, well, it's because God told me to, that these people, it's not compatible with the United States, is my point. But we continue on.
Don't think about Norway. Don't think about Europe. Don't think about China. Don't think about America. You think about the Arabs. The Arabs at that time, it was urf. It was part of their urf. It was very normal for them to ask for the daughter of a man when she was 9 or 10, so that that daughter could come and move with the family. Not sleep with him, but come and move with that family so he could observe her, she could observe him. So by the time she got to the age where she could have sexual relationships and have children and intimacy, they would have already built a bond. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? So the Prophet ﷺ,
so what he's now describing is he says that they would have this bond, which in the United States, we call that grooming. Continuing on.
He didn't sneak around someplace and get her phone number. He didn't try to meet with her somewhere. He wasn't eyeballing her. He was not desiring her. This was his best friend. And who was Abu Bakr? Abu Bakr was one of the most respectful people of Mecca, of the Quraysh. So if some crazy, foolish, ignorant, corrupt, hating people wants to call the Prophet ﷺ a pedophile, na'udhu billah, then this means that the mother of Aisha, the father of Aisha, Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, and Hani, I forget his wife's name, that means they would have had to facilitate the Prophet ﷺ in having a pedophile relationship. Would that be correct? Could two respectful parents...
He was a pedophile.
Could they have been guilty of something like that? Could Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have inspired the Prophet ﷺ, but somehow or another he fell out of inspiration and he did something like that? No, that could not be the answer. The answer had to be something different. So...
these people are fucking disgusting. And like I said, they're just not compatible with the United States at all. But here's another one where another guy tries to explain, it's just, there's so much out there and they try to talk around it like it's okay, but you have legitimately the Democrats, they switched the name from calling somebody a pedophile to calling them minor attracted persons. They call them minor attracted persons because they don't want to call them pedophiles. Think about this. They are talking about this not like it's some type of sexuality. Like it's like, oh, he's gay, he's a minor attracted person. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, these kids, protect the kids. Stop fucking with the kids. It's just insane. But you have the open borders thing, and then to even make it even more fucking crazy is that we have the fact that SCOTUS also just ruled on that, I forget what state it was, they said that if you're transgender, you have to play in men's sports, right? Like if you're born a man, you're going to play in men's sports. And this transgender teen came out and sued and took it all the way up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that the state's rights, that the state was in the right there. My whole thing is that if you're going to talk about putting men in women's sports,
Devin,
you were talking about something called co-ed sports at that point. It's not legitimate men's, women's, co-ed. But when you start adding men to that who have a physical advantage because of testosterone and, just genetics and biology, this is what I'm talking about. So check this one out here. This one's, as always.
Devin, you had the exclusive interview with Becky Pepper Jackson, the transgender athlete at the center of the West Virginia case. She will no longer be able to participate on her track and field team.
That's right, a 15-year-old, the only known openly transgender student and athlete in the state of West Virginia, bravely brought this case to the Supreme Court, insisting that she had an equal right to play with the girls. But the Supreme Court today, 6-3 decision written by Justice Brett Kavanaugh, said states, school districts can draw lines based on biological sex when it comes to sports teams in schools. And so that is a setback for Becky. 29 states that have similar laws as West Virginia will continue to stand. And I will note, Kira, that 21 states don't have bans on transgender athletes. Those are unaffected by this decision, but certainly a blow to that transgender community and student athletes on this last day of Pride Month, Kira.
Instead, and that's ABC, right? But ABC is like, oh, the poor transgender student. Instead of sitting there being like, think about the women that hurt. That you have, think about all the women that transgender athletes, basically men and women's sports, think about the opportunities that they've taken away from biological women, which is like the whole reason that we have Title IX. It's the whole reason that we have Title IX, is to protect women's sports. Otherwise, you just have co-eds. And you have people out there that are truly happy about the SCOTUS one. Check this one out. This one is a group of girls that were really happy about this ruling.
The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that states can exclude transgender athletes from competing in girls' and women's sports in a move U.S. President Donald Trump has called a big win.
Huge win.
He has promised to put an end to what he calls transgender delusion. The decision allows the conservative states of Idaho and West Virginia to base eligibility for women's competitions in public schools and universities on biological sex.
The way it should be.
The decision upholds biological reality. This is true fairness for allowing women to compete in women's sports and not have to worry about competing against men who are just biologically stronger and faster than they are. So we're thrilled that the justice decided on the side of truth.
The 9 justices ruled on 2 separate cases, each involving a young transgender athlete barred from competing. Both states defended the bans as necessary to keep competition fair and protect athletes, arguments which the Supreme Court validated in its decision. Joshua Block, the lawyer for one of the plaintiffs, says the ruling is a green light for other states to follow suit, though he notes that the Supreme Court left room for states to choose differently. Even so, over half of U.S. states have already passed bans of their own.
This is just another way in which trans kids are pushed out of visibility in this country, are made to feel less.
We fucking see you. You look ridiculous.
So much.
You're not invisible.
And,
you're there. We can't not fucking see you.
Both socially and legally in this country, and to know that they're going to have to walk into school every day, not being able to, join the team of the gender that they are, right? Is incredibly sad to me, especially as a trans person.
The ruling passed 6
fucking
votes
ridiculous.
to 3. It's the latest move to roll back transgender rights in the United States. Last year, the Supreme Court let Tennessee block transition treatments for transgender minors, and on his first day in office, Trump signed an order recognizing only 2 sexes, male and female.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that anybody even had to do that?
2 genders, male and female.
It's crazy that anybody had to even do that. It's like you have the animals out there, right, in the wild. They don't fucking have to guess what it is, right? Like they understand. Basic animals understand there's only 2 genders, right? But you just have these crazies that just it is insane. But you have these socialists that are starting to take over the party, and even Kamala Harris is kind of starting to kind of sound like a socialist now. She's definitely running for president again, whether or not she'll get the nomination. But remember this one? Listen to this one. This is an old one.
Suggest often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place. Equality.
Like, the socialist thing is not new.
Suggest often everybody should get the
Like, it's not new at all. Like, the whole, socialist thing, the Democrats have been leaning into it forever. Like, they've been leaning into it forever because they're playing on a group of people that just do not understand that it's so bad to actually have socialism. What's insane, check this one out. This is from the RNC here, but check this one out. It's like how to spot a communist. Watch this one.
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it.
I am a democratic socialist. You call yourself a democratic socialist? I'm a democratic socialist. Mondani is a self-described socialist.
I am a democratic socialist.
Claire Valdez, this is a candidate, again, aligned with the Democratic Socialists of America.
I'm a proud democratic socialist.
I identify as a democratic socialist, but I'm running as a Democrat.
We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist.
Social media posts from Teresa Avila Chevalier's old X account, including favorable references to communism, Marxist ideology, and authoritarian communist figures.
As Eugene Debs once said,
if a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, she may be a communist.
I've been a member of New York City DSA for 7 years.
Feed the rich and feed the poor. This is class war.
If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist.
Cuba has a remarkable public health system.
We remember Fidel Castro, whose legacy is complex.
Sort of the opposite of what the United States has.
When Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing? There's a lot of dissidents imprisoned in Cuba. That's right.
The actions and U.S. contributions to the suffering of Cubans.
This particular bullying and the use of sanctions.
Like other U.S. policies, the cruelty is the point.
It does not help the people of countries like Venezuela.
Do you believe that the 9/11 terrorist attacks on America were the inevitable consequence of American foreign policy?
Inevitable in the sense that we destabilized a lot of the Middle East, that forced people to believe that another act of violence was the only response.
Social media post from Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier. One calls the United States an effing disgrace.
If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist.
I mean, our goal is liberation. Our goal is communism.
They openly say it. I mean, they don't even try to hide it anymore. Like, they just openly say that they're communists. Here's what the president has to say.
We see our American identity under a renewed attack. A generation after we fought and won the Cold War against the menace of communism, there is now a resurgence of the communist menace in our land, including from newcomers to our country who embrace ideas totally opposed to our way of life and our great success. These are not mere political disagreements like differences over taxes or regulations. Communism is a mortal threat to American liberty. It is the greatest threat to our country, including World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, or even 9/11. We're not going to let this happen to us. Believe me, we're not letting it happen. Because communism is the enemy of free people everywhere in the world. Never works. It's the enemy of the Constitution. Above all, it's the enemy of July 4th, 1776. It is the enemy indeed. Even while the radicals and extremists attack our incredible history at every turn, they are silent on the miserable history of communism itself, because it never worked. Thousands of years.
So, I'm going to point this out, because it was somebody, I think it was Dan Bongino, pointed this out the other day, and it's such a true statement, okay, is that you legitimately have, after, let's say, Oklahoma City bombing, right? You legit have conservatives out there policing their own people. Like, hey, that's too far right. That's extreme. Let's not do that. Let's not say these things, you know. But the Democrats, they've never policed their people. And so that's what we're finding now, is that they're inciting this violence, and then they're not even reeling it back in. They're not saying, hey, don't go out there and do these things. Don't go do this. Don't go do that. No, I've never heard a Democrat say, please don't go out tonight and riot and loot. Just don't. Stay home for your own well-being. Stay home. But they don't. But here is, just to even show you this, ICE, they're straight up against ICE. Check this one out. This one here is like an ICE agent of this lady who just disrespects.
That Mustang's coming on you pretty fast. She just ran a red light.
She were up with you.
Yeah, that's a fast little car. She's right behind you now. All right, just slow down. Let me do this.
Yeah, come down here. Come down here. Fly road.
Okay. Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights.
It's like these people harass the ICE agents and then expect nothing's going to happen. Hey. Like if you did this to any law enforcement.
Turn on the lights. Ma'am, you're impeding with the federal investigation. We have you on camera. We actually have news reporters with us in the vehicle. Your case will be referred over to Homeland Security investigation for prosecution. You will be arrested. This is your last and final warning. Hold on a second, guys. Give me your license, please. I will once again tell you, you have cases in danger.
They don't care. They just want.
I understand, but you
to try to hurt these ICE agents because they buy the Democrat Kool-Aid. If you believe a Democrat, you're going to hurt yourself. That's just the fact of the matter. They don't tell these people not to do this shit.
Stand by. We're running the name.
For
this case for
like if Democrats came out and said, hey, quit, doing this to ICE agents, they're law enforcement too, you wouldn't have this. But instead, they do it all the time.
You turn around and get out of here.
I'm getting out of here. I'm getting
Here
out
you go.
Here.
Slow down.
Yes,
Hey.
yes.
Hey,
I'm getting out.
guys, I got it. I got it. Got it. Everybody break away. Everybody break away.
I'm going home.
Kylie, look at me. Quiet. Look at me. Take a deep breath. Okay? I need you right now. Take a deep breath.
It's all fun and games until it becomes real.
And go home. Okay? Take a deep breath.
I'm shaking.
You may leave. Please turn around. I'm going to stop traffic for you. Go. Okay?
New York's moving.
It's all fun and games, and then all of a sudden she's pleading for mercy. Please don't. I have kids. I have this. I have that. Well, you should have thought about that before you started impeding with their investigation of trying to get an illegal immigrant who rapes kids out of the fucking country. But for some reason, you think that the Democrat Party and what they have to say actually matters. And that is actually true. I haven't heard anything remotely accurate and real or true out of the Democrat Party. It's always the opposite of what Donald Trump is doing. Which, in a post-Trump world, what are these people really going to run on? Socialism. That's what it's going to be. But here's Nigel Farage from the UK. He's trying to free the UK the same way we tried to free the U.S. under the Biden regime. But he destroys Democrat Hank Johnson because they're idiots. They don't get it, right? They're always trying to get their little sound pieces, and they just sound dumb. But check this one out.
2024 in Milwaukee, weren't you?
I've been coming here since 1982 on a very regular basis. I work for American companies.
What
for many,
purpose
many
were
years.
you coming to Milwaukee for? Why did you come to Milwaukee?
I've been to Milwaukee many times. I think that particular
in 2024
was the
convention, the Republican
I think
convention.
that's right. I think you're right.
The Trump convention.
I think you're right. Very good.
Where Trump was coronated.
Well, he won, didn't he? I mean, yes.
He had already won.
Coronated. Kamala Harris was the one that was coronated. You dumb fuck.
Who had won?
It's called political
And it was
parties.
his coronation, and you attended, and you also attended Trump rallies, correct?
I've attended lots of Trump rallies.
Make America Great Again rallies.
Yes.
Many of them. And you
Upbeat,
publicly,
optimistic, happy, wonderful, joyous
you
events.
publicly
Yes.
endorsed his...
I thoroughly enjoyed them. I've even spoken to them.
You endorsed him for president, and you attended his election night watch party.
I did.
And you consider Trump to be your mentor, correct?
No.
He's not your mentor?
No.
But he...
Sorry.
He is somebody who you want the support of. And you have the support.
Yes, I do. I think he's a very, very brave man.
Because you are getting ready to run for Prime Minister of Great Britain, correct?
Oh, I've been trying for years, yeah.
And as it stands right now, you head up a party. How many seats in the Parliament are there?
651, if you include the Speaker, that is.
650.
Yes.
And how many are a part? How many seats does your party hold?
How many seats do the opinion polls say we're going to get next time? Is that your
No,
question?
I mean,
I
the
see.
numbers don't lie. You only have 4 seats, right?
I'm afraid so, yes.
And so you are indeed the leader of a fringe party.
Oh, I'm a fringe, all right. Don't worry about that. Yes, absolutely. Everything I've ever done.
And as a fringe party leader seeking to run for Prime Minister of Great Britain, you need a lot of money in order to blow up like the MAGA movement has blown up.
What you need is a message of truth and a message of hope. And
well, you need money also, right?
Money's helpful, but it's not the primary thing
so
you need.
the first thing that came out of the chair's mouth this morning during his opening statement,
gotta be real,
had to do with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And you're carrying water for Elon Musk today, aren't you?
From what I can see, Elon Musk is abusive about me virtually every single week. But it's a free country, so
but you never stop trying to ingratiate yourself with him.
Wrong.
Well, I mean,
wrong.
You are familiar with the fact.
Wrong. I have.
You are familiar with the fact, Mr. Farage,
I have had a public fallout with Elon Musk.
That Donald Trump's campaign benefited to the extent of $250 million from Elon Musk.
Well, I mean, how much?
You are familiar with that, correct?
How much did Mr. Zuckerberg give to the Democrats? I mean, this is what happens, and people are.
Well, he didn't give any money
on Musk. Let me be clear.
To the Democrats. He was sitting behind Trump with the rest of the tech bros, and you are here today to impress all of those tech bros, including Elon Musk. Isn't that correct?
I'm going to answer your question very, very honestly.
You need money from Elon Musk in order to get elected Prime Minister of Great Britain. That's the bottom line. Isn't that correct?
We consider all day, as long as the chairman allows us. I don't mind. I had a very public falling out with Elon Musk.
But you're still trying to get some money from him, though.
Over a political issue.
It's not about the prior disputes.
I'm sorry,
you're trying to ingratiate yourself with the tech bros by coming over here and trying to.
Can I get a cup of coffee or something?
And you're arguing.
We'll be here a long time.
What you're arguing is that the citizens of Great Britain should pay a tariff if these tech companies are not allowed to violate the laws of Great Britain.
No, I'm not. That was a falsehood put out by the British Prime Minister today.
You didn't say in your
Prime Minister's
statement.
questions. I have never.
In your statement.
I have never suggested any
Your
of the
statement,
kind.
you don't
My
call
statement
for
is very
tariffs
clear.
as tools to
My
force
statement is
Great
very
Britain's.
clear. My statement is very.
You are not
It
calling
might surprise
for,
you.
You are not
Mr.
calling
Johnson.
for.
It might surprise you to know
tariffs and trade sanctions.
Trade. You may not know this, but trade between our countries is actually rather important. You are the biggest investor in our country, and we're the biggest investor in yours.
Done is
and
come
friends,
the gentleman from Georgia
friends,
has expired, but the gentleman
what you've
should be able
done,
to say
sir,
some
is
kind of
come here
response.
to the United
Regular
States
order,
to
Mr.
argue
Chairman.
The
that
time-
your
He's been
citizens
rude.
should
He's been
pay a
disgusting.
tariff.
He's been hilarious.
Hang on. No. The gentleman's time has expired. I feel like we should give Mr. Farage a chance to respond to one of the many questions he was not allowed to respond to. So we'll give you 30 seconds, Mr. Farage, and then we'll move on to our next one. Because I know Mr. Farage does have to leave in about an hour, so we want to get through as many members as we can.
Number one, I had a public fallout over a political issue with Elon Musk. I can't be bullied by anybody. I haven't changed my mind. Last time I looked, he was being spectacularly rude about me yesterday. That's life. If we believe in free speech, we live with it. What I have made very clear.
Fixated on.
What I have made. Sorry, no, this is my turn, I think.
Yeah, you got another
Thank you,
15
Mr.
seconds.
Chairman. What I've made perfectly clear in this paper is the situation we've got with successive pieces of legislation, including now the Online Safety Act, is a danger to trade between our countries. And allies and friends and trading partners have honest conversations with each other. I hope many American companies and politicians have honest conversations with the British government. I've not suggested sanctions at all in any way.
You were here.
And so that was Nigel Farage, who just lit up. But I mean, what a stupid fucking question from Hank Johnson. But you just have, you know, these different characters out there, but they're all, you know, they're all socialists, and it's all the socialists now. It's all a choice of words where they're going after the oligarchs. But listen to this. This is Spencer Pratt. You know, he says he's got the goods. Check it out.
Shocking, because they're alleged criminal partners. Not only did they work together in their negligence in burning down 7,000 houses and 12 people alive, but they're both complicit in laundering, $24 billion to actually increase homelessness. Newsom and Karen Bass make up stats. Those are not real numbers. Anybody with eyeballs in the state of California or Los Angeles knows that there has not been a reduction in one homeless person. Actually, there's been an increase of naked drug addict zombies in front of every kid's playground, every kid's school, every coffee shop. So that is,
and that's socialism.
They're, you know, they both should be in jail together. It's not.
Yeah, but I digress. So, like, my point there is that that's what that whole socialism comes down to, because it really is. I mean, it's crazy. But this right here is John Fetterman, and it's pretty fantastic. He calls out his own party, which is why we
what
like John
I'm
Fetterman.
saying is that call this out. And now I have a lot of Democrats that are great Democrats, and now they have views that are compatible, but they're not radical kinds of things. But there's a significant part of our party that's getting taken over with these extreme views. You know, whether it's P. Hustle in Maine, or the new squad coming in out of New York City, or the guy in Colorado. That's the direction that our party's going.
Indeed. I mean, I still can't believe that only 13 House Democrats signed on to Pride in the United States, Capitalism, and Strong Borders. They called it a pledge, a promise to America. Just 13. There's 199 House Democrats that did not. Does that surprise you?
What I'm saying is, like, being patriotic now is becoming, you know, partisan right now. You know, you look at the kinds of polls right now, you know, I think 18% of Democrats were intensely proud to be American or proud of the country. And that's truly absurd. You know, like, I mean, you don't have to agree with everyone that's in the White House or some other things. You know, I will always remain intensely proud of our nation and where we are. We are the good guys, you know, in the fight. it's not Iran, it's not Hamas, it's not Hezbollah or these other kinds of countries too. So for me, it's very, very sad. Now, even just being patriotic now has become a partisan thing.
It is. Even just being patriotic, just saying that you love this country. And I showed you that earlier, that you just have Democrats right now that they just lie. They make shit up as they go along. But here's Scott Jennings, who mic drops Caitlin Collins based on the gas prices thing. Listen to this one here.
Look, gas prices are not up. They're down. Below $4 a gallon nationally. Oil's trading at $71 a barrel. We don't run the gas price tracker on the screen anymore for a reason, I mean, it's because it's a non-story. The pool was vandalized. You keep bringing up the pool. It was vandalized by people who were so broken-brained about our politics that they went out there and vandalized the pool. It's in the court documents, which you can read yourself today. And as it relates to cost, the Republicans cut taxes. Working people all over this country got major tax refunds. We have a booming job market. We have a stock market that's up. Right now, we have an economy that's on the upswing because of Republican policies, and we've got insane Democrats winning primaries promising socialism all over this country. Those are the facts, and that's the argument that will be carried to the election. Look, gas prices are not up. They're down.
Boom. That's the point. Like, you bring it in. Like, gas price. Yeah. Like, hey, they stopped running the tracker because it's not a story anymore. And he just called them out on the whole thing. Here is, here's a liberal lady who absolutely flips out because she wanted a refund on a cashback transaction, okay? This is the type of shit that goes on. Love my
I need my money back on my card. That's what's going on. I need my money back on my card that I spent here. Refund. It's called a refund.
And what did you purchase and when did you purchase it?
A pack of gum right now. Not even 5 minutes ago. Haven't even walked out the store.
Basically,
I need my money.
So what were you doing to damage stuff before
I ain't
paying?
in here. It's cameras. Run them.
So basically, she's trying to get cash back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she was a penny short. He asked her.
She was short on money?
Asked him, can he get cash?
She ain't got my money.
He told her, yeah. She went to the car, got the penny, and came back. And when he came back,
He said no. So I said I want a refund.
And he wanted to act like he can't get her no refund.
So give me my refund.
Did she ever pay for anything?
Yes.
She bought these packs of gum and got cash back,
Mm-hmm.
but we can't do a refund on cash.
She just called her manager. Her manager said refund. That's what she's in here doing on my kid, on my dead mother.
If they're saying that they can't do refunds on cash back, then
her
they can't
general
do it.
manager, she just got off the phone with. That's why she just
Don't get
listen. That's why she
Okay.
just searching the garbage for that receipt. She's sitting there doing the refund. She's saying she can't do nothing because you're here.
No, I
She was just finna refund me my money. And my line, you've been standing right here this whole time. She's been typing in this thing.
Can you
finna
refund the gun, just not the cash back?
Correct.
Okay. So it sounds like she can refund you for the gun.
She can refund me my whole thing. She just called the manager. On this little device right here, she just called.
It sounds like she can refund you for the gun, but not the cash back.
Money. Listen, I don't want nobody talking about that money came off my card, and I need it back on my card. Just like that manager just said, find the receipt and refund her stuff. She gonna find the receipt and refund me my money. Don't know what to say.
What's your name?
None.
Okay, well, they want you trespass from here, so you have to give me your name.
Once I get my money, I will be trespassing. I don't even live on this
Well, I
side.
need your name to trespass you.
Once I get my money, you will get my name.
That's
Once
not how that
I
works.
get my money, you will get my name.
What's your name? You're with her?
Nope, he not with me. He don't know me.
It's a drag here. Oh, there. This is Officer Jess.
I want my money on my
She just told them to say them. Ain't nobody stupid.
Okay.
On my kid. Like,
I just
make
heard
this shit make sense.
I just heard.
I'm not slow.
She got the cash.
I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing. It's cameras. It's cameras.
Did she get the cash?
No. Nope. It's not in my hand. Just like I swiped my car, it's not in my hand.
Here.
That's not mine. My money was on hers.
They're saying this is yours.
My money was on
Well, this
here.
is
That
what
came
you
out the
got.
drawer. That's not mine.
Okay.
That's called stealing.
Well, here's the thing.
That's called stealing.
This is what they got for you right now.
I need refund. My money on my
Are they going to
card.
refund it?
No, they can't refund
Yes,
the
they
cash.
can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes,
Okay.
they can. Yes, they can.
So we need your name so we can trespass you.
I don't know my name, and I don't
Okay.
got no ID.
All right, put your hands behind your back for me, okay?
You cannot listen.
Stop. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. You're not going to cooperate?
I ain't tripping. I don't got no name though. Get my phone back.
No, we'll take it. Thank you.
I need that.
No, you don't. You're not with her.
Just get my keys.
She's not with you.
Get my keys.
He said he's not with you.
Yes, he is with me.
Get up.
Yes, he is with me.
Get up.
Give my phone to my boyfriend. Give my phone to my boy. Record this, babe.
Get up.
Cause all this over my money.
Okay. Okay.
Get the keys, babe.
You're making this more difficult for yourself.
Stand up. Walk.
I'm not making shit difficult. I got scoliosis. You pulling my hair? You pulling my hair?
Stop.
You pulling my hair?
Turn around. Now.
Turn around for my money.
Crazy how these things go south so quickly.
Turn around for my money. I got scoliosis. I want you to know that.
All right, turn around. You're
I
gonna
got
get sprayed.
scoliosis.
Turn around. You're gonna get
I got
sprayed.
scoliosis.
Turn around. You're gonna get sprayed.
For my money, let's make this shit
Turn
make
around.
sense.
Put your hands
And
behind
make
your
sure
back.
you come up to the police station. My head is on the ground, sir.
Well, then
Put
stop
your hands
behind your
behind
back.
your
I'm not even moving. I'm not even moving. I'll be out today. Y'all tripping. All this over my money. Let's make
They
this
gave
shit
you
make-
your money.
No, the lady just said that they can refund me. That's what I'm saying. Where my money?
It's like talking to a wall.
Where my money? Where my
I tried to
money?
give it to you.
I bet you gonna take it.
I didn't take it.
Let's make this shit make sense.
All you did is have to give us your name, huh?
I know what I have to give you, but all I have to do is refund me my money like
They
the
gave you
manager.
your money.
Listen, is y'all gonna listen or not? Oh my dad, my mom just died. The manager.
So, that's how that one ended up. But that is our time for this week. Thank you so much for joining us here on America 250. Happy 4th of July to everybody. God bless every single one of you. Keep all of your fingers. God bless you. Keep the faith. And get out there and talk shit to a liberal today. God bless all of you.